there are no missing votes. Let's talk about that.
Man Up with Mark. Mark talks about everything under the sun. You may agree with him, and again, you may not.
So there's a story that's been out, and again, I'm pre-recording these podcasts, and this is the week of the election. The election has happened, and now it's a couple of days after the election, and the losers are upset. They're moaning and groaning, which can be expected. Winners are jumping and hooting and hollering, which is expected. But there are certain stories, rumors, bullshit coming out that just is not right. It's not true. And it doesn't help the situation. There's this story that people are talking about, and it is, where are the missing votes? And they're comparing the last election back in 2020, when it was Biden and Trump, to this election of Harris and Trump. And they're wanting to know, why is there a 20 million vote difference? There's 20 million votes less this election than last election. Well, first off, all the votes haven't been counted. The votes that people are seeing right now are what have been tabulated, what have been accounted for right now. Even though the majority of the states have reported 99% of their precincts have reported in, that doesn't mean that they have counted all of the votes. They've counted enough to make their projections who won the state, who won the different candidacies, whether it be president or senator or congressman or congresswoman. But they haven't counted all the votes. So when they look at the total number right now, people are counting in their heads, oh my God, we're missing so many votes, and blah, 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 blah. And in fact, there was a story out there that says that, in fact, I have it up on my screen here. I don't even need to show it to you because it's bullshit. But the claim on this story, or this person telling the story, President Joe Biden won approximately 20 million more votes in the 2020 election than Vice President Kamala Harris earned in the 2024 race. Now, I don't know where they're getting that number or how they're getting that number because the final tabulations aren't done yet. In fact, when it came right down to it, the final certified vote count had Biden at 81 million plus. 81,244,666. 666. Ooh, that should have told us something right there. Right now, the tabulation for Kamala is 68,079,359. So if you do the math on that right there, that's not 20 million. Yeah, I don't know. It's not even approximately 20 million. Doing quick math in my own head, and I know, it's scary. I'm going to have some Mark math coming out at you here. It's only a difference of about 13 million. So I don't even know where this article got the 20 million figure from. And by the time the certification is done on the votes, I'm sure Kamala will probably end up with probably over 70 million. Right now, Trump has 72 plus. In fact, 72,741,495 as of today. So, when everything is said and done with, Trump may end up with 74 million. Kamala may end up with 72 million. Will Trump win the popular and the electoral? Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, he's already won the electoral, and he's on his way to winning the popular vote, too. Yeah, it still happens. A Republican can still win the popular vote. Yeah, it can still happen. A Republican can still win the popular vote. How about that? So there is still a difference in the total number of votes cast between last year's amount and what this year's amount will end up to be. Will it be maybe 10 million less than 2020? Maybe 8 to 10 million less? Yeah, that might be possible. What's the reason? People not voting. People didn't want to vote in this election. What's the reason? Don't know. Maybe they didn't like either candidate. Maybe they didn't like their candidate enough to vote for them. Maybe they didn't hate the other candidate so much that they would vote against him. Let me go to my screen that I'm not going to show you. I'm going to give you an example of what Arizona looked like as far as how many people voted and how many people were registered to vote. And if Arizona is like other states in this manner of how many registered and how many voted, I could see why there is going to be an 8 to 10 million vote difference from the last election to this election. Because I can look on my chart here, this chart on my other computer that I'm not going to show you, because I just don't know how to put it over on this screen yet. One of these days I'm going to learn how to do that, put the image on the screen somewhere. I still have to learn that part of my recording process. I know it can be done. I just haven't gotten around to time to learn how to do it. But I digress. Here in Arizona, here's a good example. In Maricopa County, which is the largest county in our state, we had 2,587,196 registered voters. Ballots cast in Maricopa County, 1,550,000. That's over 1 million less. 1 million people in Maricopa County that were registered to vote didn't. Now, were those all Democrats? Was it a mixture of Democrats and Republicans? Who knows? But there's 1 million people right there in one state that is going to be a difference when it comes to the total count. Here's a better extreme, and this will be the last figure I give you. In Yuma County, there were 101,666 registered voters. There's that 666 again. I don't know. 111,666 registered voters. Ballots cast in Yuma County, 35,000. only 32%. I think that's the reason why we're going to be seeing a lot of votes less in this election than there was last election. Again, I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons why the majority of the registered voters didn't vote. What do you think? Send me a comment on that. In fact, look up your state's records and look at the precincts, the different counties, and see how many were registered to vote and how many actually voted. It's easy to do. This computer shit's just awesome. It'll tell you almost anything. Is it always the truth? Okay, that's another question there. But I think this is pretty much right on. But at any rate, let me know what you think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. And also, I'd like you to donate to my Patreon. I really would. I would like it a lot. Patreon.com/manupwithmark. All right. That's about it for now. Go Vikings. See ya.
If you have a question or comment, email Mark at manupwithmark.com.